Kent Jensen with Kent Coach. Today we're going to be talking about influence. Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. I'm going to take the principles out of this book. I'm going to apply it to my dry erase board as far as sales and how you can apply it directly to the sales process. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I was having a conversation with a young man at the gym, and he was telling me about a trade work he did and how the guy gave him a $5,000 sales course in exchange for video edits, media stuff that he did for him. And I was thinking to myself, man, $5,000 for a sales course, wow. These sales gurus are really getting out of hand. Now, I've been in sales since 2001. My first sales job was, I was a mormon missionary. And so I sold religion door to door in Venezuela. And what that taught me was how to set goals, how to set weekly goals, monthly goals, how to plan your week, how to create a sales funnel, and how the best and most effective sales come from. They come from referrals. But you still have to do a little bit of everything even though referrals were my most likely to convert, I still had to go out and knock doors to fill up the time because I still needed 10 first discussions so I could get to my 5 advanced discussions so that I could get to my 1 family baptized, right? So, that being said, I'm gonna take everything I know about sales. I'm not gonna charge you $5,000. I'm gonna give it away for free on YouTube. And this isn't one of those, wait, and I'm gonna stall and not really give you anything worthwhile. I'm gonna give it to you succinctly and briefly right now. Sales is simple. It's trust, vulnerability, solutions. You have to build trust in your client so that they feel comfortable telling you where they're vulnerable, and then you present a solution. The best way to build the best relationships is to give the best solution, even if it doesn't benefit you as a salesperson. A lot of salespeople will struggle with this because sales attracts a lot of egocentric, me-first type personalities. However, if you have an outward mindset and you understand others fully, then that perspective will unlock so much for you. And it'll build relationships to where you're planting the seed now and you can harvest it in a year or 2 years because this person knows that you have their best interest at heart. Now, that being said, I'm going to take the Psychology of Persuasion Influence by Robert Cialdini, have it on here on the board, and I'm going to show you basic sales process, right? And because nobody wants to be a salesman anymore, we have becoming a business analyst, right? This is how you become a business analyst, right? First things first, you got to answer these questions before you can start any sales. Who is the client, right? Who am I selling to? You'd be surprised how many people I've coached in telephone sales that pitch the gatekeeper. Like, you only have so much emotional energy and so much good pitches before they start sounding stale. You don't want to waste them on a gatekeeper, right? The next question is, what is the value you provide? Okay? And by value, sometimes we think of monetarily only, but possible and ambiguous increases in self-defined welfare is how we define value. Self-defined welfare. Sometimes stress is the most detrimental thing to self-defined welfare. So if you're able to build trust, give vulnerability, present a solution, you're lowering your stress problem. Right? It may not be related to money right away. In fact, your solution might cost more, but it's going to lower their stress, so that creates value for them. Right? The next question is, what are the expectations we set? Like, what type of person are you? Are you going to be a service-oriented person? Are you going to be selfish? What is the expectations you set, right? The last R, the question you need to answer is, what are their needs, objectives, and challenges? So you need to look at it from an organizational empathy standpoint of what are the needs of the organization, the objectives and challenges, down to each position that you will be trying to work with or sell. What is this particular person's needs, objectives, and challenges within the organization, right? So we have these questions answered, and we have our lead list that we've created or we've bought or whatever, and we want to go about attacking it. So then we got to start building relationships, right? I know who the client is, so now I'm going to build a relationship. So this is where the psychology of persuasion comes into play. Now some people, they'll be like, oh, it's manipulation, oh, it's this, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, it's not manipulation, it's influence. It's understanding needs, objectives, and challenges, being wise like a serpent, harmless as a dove, because I'm presenting a solution to your vulnerability. Maybe the solution isn't my best benefit, but in your best benefit. So influence is key to that, right? So within his book, he's got these: reciprocation, unity, liking, consistency, and scarcity, social proof, and authority as his key levers of influence as far as getting people to change their mind or do something or feel a certain way, right? So when we start with the cultivation of the relationship, we focus on these three: reciprocation, unity, and liking. The best way that I can describe reciprocation is a free sample you get at the grocery store. The grocery store thinks if they give you a free sample, you're going to reciprocate and buy the product. And this is also why some people hate free gifts, because they feel obligated to return the favor, right? The next two, these overlap quite a bit. You have unity and liking, right? Unity is the appearance of shared experience, shared social norms, shared causes, whatever. Even a baseball team, right? You know, we want the Yankees to win the World Series. We have that unity. The next one is liking. We want to buy stuff from people we like. So in order to get people to like you, you want to base values and overlapping interests that you, so basically things you have in common. Oh, I know you like this, I like that. Simple. So we go through and we try to find out the best way to approach the client that we're approaching through these, or maybe we use all of them. We're going to get to a point where we need to explore values, understand their interests, find out where our interests overlap as a company and as a salesperson. And then we're going to go to motivating actions. And this comes back to expectations we set with the consistency. Am I being consistent? So if I set a deadline, do I hold to that deadline? When I was a transportation broker, nothing drove me more batty when I'd hear other brokers set a hard line in the sand and then wiggle, and then wiggle, and then wiggle, without the other person even asking for anything. Strange phenomenon. And by the way, silence in a negotiation is the key. Keep that in your back pocket. So, scarcity, we have to be careful, because that, when used poorly, comes off as high pressure, comes off as manipulative, comes off as just disingenuous. Whereas understanding how to find where scarcity actually exists and communicate that in a non-pressure, open way will get people to feel like they need to take this opportunity and they need to take advantage of it now. Okay? So then usually when people are on the fence about something, they have objections. So if this was a $5,000 sales course, this next $2,000 part would be about overcoming objections, which you don't need to pay. It's simple. Social proof and authority. Now, social proof is someone they view as a peer, making the same decision, doing the same thing as them. Authority is somebody they view as an expert or somebody they look up to, somebody they admire. they'll do it because of that. So again, misapplied, these things can be manipulative, and they can be just, make you look wrong, make you look bad, make you look like an idiot. However, if you are genuine, you are authentic as a person, you genuinely care about the well-being, the self-defined welfare of the person you're calling, of your clients, then using these tools will help you grow. Now, to prove my point, I'm going to, over the next couple of weeks, take you through a business development of my own business. I'm going to add 10 new coaching spots, whether that's working with 2 new businesses, 3 new businesses, or 1, because I do business-to-business sales, because I coach the individuals. I do individual coaching within the business and consulting. So we're going to do 10 new clients in the next 2 months. And so I'm going to take you through, and we're going to document each step. We're going to go through this part first, and then I'm going to take you through this as I try to break down the barriers, get to the decision makers, do everything I need to, and then this when I'm trying to get the sale, and this when I overcome objections. Okay? So, like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget to be awesome.